Sakamonaka, he con he se, oleke la se koma he se kotona ye kona, isukubina sikita likona, con se konimi kite koseko, efike lekasiko ba hana kapija, senaka, he se, ponaka. Pone que se lo loico ma he pone se toshikobusha isso bika le kusipo sombali pokuno shiko na he sobira he kobila kapuna shi kuri bila kilash uniko na Ikona, pikona, shikun, hinafa, shokamina, fiko, misaki nasali, bulaki, isu, and ikona, sika, and minasiko, and naliko leka mafa, lekona, shelo, and nikari, ohina, bashinaka, wakinisa, pikana. Inakasina faka. Ka shiko boshika likoba. Inasina sa. Kumaki. Ikase mashe. Tole pikali. Oh yeah, God. Hi, man. How y'all doing? How's my family doing? My melanated family around the globe, around the world, in space, inner space, outer space, and the galaxy. As the universe expands, even whatever essence that we come into, my family in the spiritual, divine, energetic energy of our creator and our ancestors, we must and got to develop trust, divine trust among ourselves, so that we can help ourselves and protect ourselves and defend ourselves, because they don't want us here and they want us to send us to their so-called hell that they manifested and developed and built in their quagmire deceptive maze that have our people amazed at the aspirations that they build in our mentality and our reality by all the commercial lies that the subliminal suggestions that we go through when we look at our, what is it, the stupid tube as they call it, or they call it television, telling us things through vision. Because we looked at it, we look at it and we be so intense. We be checking out the movies and then the commercial come in. But now they get us away from that and they have us stuck on, HBO, Showtime, and all that. Why they still manipulate our mind with the context of what we be looking at. See, we don't read as much and look at much documentation about our relation with each other from the beginning into this present moment, how they are through social engineering still steering us to be corrupt and killing each other. So we got to come out of this deception and overcome it and get back into our spiritual reality and our divine strength, so we can overcome this social engineering, because all that belongs to us. Energy, synergy, frequency, vibration, and energy is ours, along with the synergy. But they have tapped into it, our energy, and they say, don't you do this, don't you do that, because it ain't good, it's that, it's bad, it's evil. But then they go and develop secret societies and cult circles. And then when they catch us by ourselves somewhere, they kidnap us, and some of us may get lynched. Some of us may go into getting our body parts taken, or some of us may be sent somewhere in their for their occult circles, because they don't say anything about all the missing people, females, males, and children, and all that, because they control the media, those without no soul, and knowing that they dying out or whatever, and they trying to get those body parts to live on, or the melanin, or whatever they think gonna allow them not to survive, because the things that we do it naturally to be alive. It's divine energy that keeps us going, the sunlight, the melanin, and all that spiritual energy. It just keeps us going. But you see, with them, it ain't like that. That's why they try to use us to continue their life. But, it's not going to work that way, because it's unnatural. See, we are supernatural beings, divine beings in the spiritual realm and the physical realm, because they connected. It's the physical, mental, and spiritual, but the divine is where we find our time to, be on the course of life that will have us in our studies again, mysticism, and being a mystic, and being a shaman, and being a voodoo priest, and being a warlock, and being all those things that bring us together. Even our sisters being voodoo priests and witches and healers and all that. And not not the killers that they got us advertise around the world, be talking about black on crime, when they are the ones with their undivine mind and their super hypocrisy to make mockery of us through their programming, and have us, our young, especially our young people, our young warriors, really, that's what they are, warriors and guardians, really, of our community, but they've been programmed to become predators, and see, we got to understand that we got 4 aspects in our brain: the physical aspect, and it comes to the spiritual divine aspect. We got the animalistic at the bottom, the mammal right above that. Then we got the cerebral cortex that opens up. That's when it starts opening up to the spiritual and the divine. Then you got the frontal lobe, and that's where the divine, the God state of mind be in our temple, you see. And see, we got to realize that things like that we have to study esoterically and arcanely, because this is the thing to make us sane, not insanely inspired by these hypocritical aspirations that they create in our consciousness through subliminal suggestions, through commercialized lies. And that's what we got to realize, that we can't be that. We got to be naturally inclined, divinely and spiritually inclined. And we don't need no church or masjid or any of that, really, because this is the temple. It's so plain and simple about us. We have to go through this growth and development process over and over and over until we get it, or until it gets you. Either you're going to get it and live it, or it's going to choose you, and you're going to have to live it when it chooses you. Because if the energy of the creator chooses you and you're not ready, you might be off balance. Your equilibrium will rock your world. But if you're strong enough and ready, then you'll be in after your euphoria, after your divine euphoria, and you go through it, and you sustain yourself, and then you maintain yourself. So then your third eye will open, and you'll be, I can say, promoted, I guess. And so you be chosen. So then you got to live a certain way, because now you're in that spiritual way, on the pathway of our ancestors. And spirituality, African spirituality, and also Aborigine here in here what they call the United States of America. I say United Snakes of hypocrisy under Satanic administration, because they created this evil energy and they say this is good and this is bad, and if you do this, you got to suffer from that. We don't do nothing but make choices, and our choices is what we got to live by. You know, it's like it's our choice to be good or bad. We have both energies in us, in our temples, and in our thinking, and our aspirations. And if we allow them to abuse our aspiration and lose us in the quagmire, deceptive maze that they have created to make everything look a maze. I want a Bentley, I want a Benz, I want a Cadillac, I want what, $2,500 tennis shoes. Boy, I tell you. And we got people to buy that because, you know, they got the money, right? And is it a waste of money? Why we ain't pooling our resources and being cooperative instead of competitive in nature? If we be cooperative, we can be self-assured of dealing with, you know, our infrastructure and our Black Wall Streets once again in a myotic way, a way of my again, so that we can be in harmony and peace and don't have to worry about, should I say, beasts, who talks about taking America back to when it was great again. What concept if he's trying to really put in the psychic of these white supremacies, not white supremacists, European supremacies that here in America that have taken America, then they have taken concepts of constitution and put it together. But that stuff come from us too. You got to know the 500 tribes that was in Turtle Island, which they called this place before it got taken out of place and misnomered and misnamed into America to give credit to some European slave owner, or, you know, some European so-called explorer, to say America, United States of America. But all these people come from somewhere else and they come together in their unity of warmongers and all that, and they take over the land from us. And then they say that it was another ethnic group here, but it was us. And the mixture brought the, like they say, red man, brown man. But it is only one really original man, and that is the people who is us with the melanin. You know, melanated people are the real custodians of this planet Earth. And it got stolen by them people that came out the caves of the earth. They may be our alter egos and all that, but we had to let them go. And all the other ethnic groups that, you know, they turned against us. They turned against us because they didn't want to live in harmony and peace. And these mad scientists, when they got a piece of our knowledge and information, they ran with it. They took it and ran and hid and made secret societies and read this and read that. But they didn't know how to deal with it. So they created this demonic environment. And they created what they say, heaven and hell. They created all these things, but, you know, all that exists in a divine spiritual way, and it exists what you create in your mind first, because you are divine. You're part of the creator. You know, you're that what you are. You can't get around that. You come from stardust, avatar, indigo. And all this power that's generated in us come from the creator, the genuine supreme being. That's portions of it, the power of the creator is in us, in the temple. But that soul, universal, galaxy, powerful entity could be this big, though, you know, or it could be as gigantic as everything. but it's in everybody, the power of what they call God, what we call God. But it's the essence of our ancestors, and that's where we got to get back. We got to get back into that information to come from us, not from being under attack by those who rose to the deception of leadership and power through their warmongering type mentality that we're gonna take it, we're gonna kill everybody. Then they program us to kill ourselves in the modern day and time that we be in. They say black on black crime, but they don't say nothing about European on European crime. This whole country is about criminality. Everything about it, all the corporations that is about. I mean, from the prison industrial complex to the academic industrial complex to the medical industrial complex. All these corporations is a conglomerate of deception. All they're about is control and money and greed. And see, we got, 7 billion people on the planet. And I know I'm not the only one talking like this. And, I'm just waiting for the time that we come into the mix. And then, we had to do what's divine and stop being blind or blinded by those who think they're in control. I mean, they control everything now in the political system that we accept as a people. And we know that it's corrupt. Or if we don't, we should. And that it's a criminal enterprise. We have to study and know what we're dealing with, carbon states and all that. We got to get the concepts right and open the gates of knowledge so we can, be, what? Yeah. You got to come into recognition of what their mission is so that we can stand up and defend ourselves. Not always physical, but it's mental, financial, spiritual, academically. Every aspect that they control, we got to count it because they trying to count us out, trying to take us off the map, especially our young warriors. That's for real. And they want to, cohabitate with our women. But that ain't going to save them. They think that's going to save them, but it's still going to be us, no matter what they do, because they can't create nothing to come from them. Their seed don't produce any other ethnic cultivation. But through us, we makes everyone on this planetary nation. We already done it because we're the original people and everything come from us. Because if you go anywhere on the planet Earth, you're going to find us. I'm talking about wherever you go. But see, they don't want you to know, so they keep everything in the background and this and that, or underground. And so when they be talking about anthropologists and going in graves, they be looking for where we come from, we can't find ourselves. And every time they go, wherever they go, whatever space they go to on the planet, who do they find? They found us. I mean, because our ancestors say the truth is etched in stone, or that we have to know ourselves. And once we know ourselves and open up to our divine self, then we don't be blind. It'd be like we be divine in the spiritual essence. And our ancestors have a pathway. Our Muslim brothers say the Sirat al-Mustaqim, that we got to go on to get into this situation of being before our creator that they call Allah. And everybody got a pathway to whatever religion they practice to, be, some people say saved, some people say baptized and all that. Well, I went through that too, but I went through it after my third eye opened because I'd been Muslim since 80. Took my Kalima Shahada when my first son was in his mother's ocean, the water and all that, doing off the boogie. And so with that, years and went by, and I just did what I do because I didn't know what to do. You know, I was just, oh, I'm Muslim, but you know, you got to learn everything you say you are. You got to practice it. I did that. I didn't do it at first because I was still in the concrete jungle, you know, but I had that title though. But then I had to go to college to learn and get a degree. I got a degree in streetology, PhD in streetology, but I also became an Islamic spiritual leader that I was chosen by the brothers that I was in college with. And you know what I'm saying about college. You got to study in college. And I did so much studying that, you know, I was very studious in my study because I had the time to do that. And now and then I came out on the street and this and that. I looked around. I said, man, this ain't what I was living. Then I got to go on. No, I got to. Where did I go first? I went on Hajj and I went to Africa twice, and that was a blessing. And then when I come back, you know, it was like, you know, you're still under attack. I always knew that because I've been like in a revolutionary type of mindset when I was very young, you know. So I was like being prepared to where I'm at now in this divine. Now, I say I was a streetologist, right? I got a PhD in streetology. So now I got to say I got a degree in divinity and spirituality. And that's part of my reality now. And so I'm now trying to get an esoteric and arcane knowledge so that I can be able to step in other realms and dimensions and come back here and share what was mentioned. You understand what I'm saying? That's where I'm going now. That's just my study and my spiritual, mental, and divine ground that I stand upon, a strong foundation in helping us build our nation in this physical realm as a spiritual warrior. And that's what I do. That's what I'm ordered to do it, sort of, because I got to live it, you know, like coming out of water and being born under the sign of Cancer, the crab, you know. So everything is like symbolically balanced with me, you know. And so, like, I did get baptized and I got saved, as they say. That was in Christianity, and I already had taken my Klim Shahada. But you know what? No religion means anything to me like my spirituality. Nothing. And my universality and my understanding of who I am. You know, even though I can go in any door and be accepted. And so that's what I do. I'm trying to get more powerful in everything that I do. So when I recollect my knowledge and information, I can be more fully operational in my deliberation and my communication and articulation so that the words I speak hold weight, hold depth and width and length and everything that's universally susceptible or acceptable by those that hear what I say. Because it ain't nothing to play with, you know. It's like you be placed in a position of true leadership to guide and protect you, to be the divine spiritual warrior that you were selected to be. That is me in my spiritual context. And I want us to know that we got to unify. That is the whole key to our getting back to segregation that we need and be on one side, or say we can say the chessboard, be on one side, our adversary and natural enemy on the other. And we got to counter any move that they Say, Frederick, what do you mean, swoop seek ye knowledge from the cradle to the grave? Yeah, you're right. But some of us have a mental grave that we like we alive and like walking dead, so we got to like go into a spiritual operation upon ourselves and be in the divine aspect of who we really be. We be the creator within you and me, Ubuntu, because there will not be no me without you, holistically and globally. That's why we got to unify and come together in that endeavor of divine unity around the world. Yes, we are one, my brother Swoop. Uh, I'm glad you talkative this morning. That's what I need. You like a candle of light that shines so bright in the darkness of the light that you be always on point and be right. I should have played our CD this morning because this immorality is a sickness that they can't get over because the sickness is they think they are who we are. We the original people upon the whole globe from beginning of time. And everything that's here, every ethnic group that's here on this planet come from us. And that's the reality. And that's our God-given trust. And I'm glad to see uh, that's right, brother. Forward X, young brother, so powerful that he's a warrior, true warrior, spiritual warrior, lives by the warrior code from the FOI to the NOI. And the brother is full of truth and never lies, but he speaks the truth from what he knows and what he's been taught. He's a scholar, spiritual, divine scholar. He ain't about no physical and all mental. It's divine that the God in him and the spirituality of our ancestor globally and the love and the life and side by side as we ride. See, we don't have no fear of this thing that they say death or dying because we know that we can't die. Only the body dissipates. But the energy of the creator that's in us, who we are, goes back to the source and we become ancestors. My brother, I'm glad to have you on. I apologize for not coming to that debate you had with the brother Bay, but got stuck and some other things. But I know you did a well done job because that's who you are in your God state of mind. My brother for life. And that, and my family for life, my melanated Black family for life. We got to make things right. We got to come back together and make heaven on earth the heaven of a paradisical mentality and reality of just living in the harmony and peace and the maintenance of my act and the matriarchic world of our sisters being the ones in control and us being there to help them control the essence and the balance of life in the spiritual and divine context and the esoteric and arcane knowledge that we got to gain along with all the other things that we got to maintain. I just want everybody to know that, my love this continues to grow because it's not, like physical. It ain't even physical, mental, it's spiritual and divine. I mean, and like I ain't perfect and I had my emotional outbursts or whatever, in my relations or whatever, but I have self-control and self-discipline. So I ain't going overboard. I ain't gonna jump in no water and can't swim. So whatever I do it from a perspective to keep it in perspective, and have introspection of myself. And I'm disciplined and I have self-control and my behavior and my habits, not like they were before, because it's like this show is part of my growth and development. It is the truth that I speak from my ancestor tongues that I speak in. And also when I come back from astro traveling, what's inspired in me to speak is the truth from the creator and my ancestors. But I really ain't got to go nowhere because the creator in me, I speak the truth from the creator because I am. I am who I am. And that is divine, pure energy of what they call God. It's all carbon energy, pure energy, intelligent energy that is incorporated in our being. Our being part of it, is that's the unification. And that's why we got to build our nation through segregation once again. That was the best times in the world. That's when America was great. When they was where they was at, when we was where we was at. They still had their thing they called captivity and slavery going on in some places. But where we were organized, we had cities, man, whole cities that were operational. We had transportation, banking system, educational system, and all that. You got to look at some of the historical pictures. We had suits on, our ladies looked so beautiful, all of that. All the time, throughout time, we were like that. Even in this, now I ain't gonna say in this day and time, I can say for those who haven't lost their mind or trying to gain their mind once again, because in your mind or in a mind, it depends if you're on the innerverse or universe. If you're on the outerverse or the innerverse, the mind does the same thing, because in the mind is where the treasure lies, diamond, golds, and minerals. So if we lost our mind, we're not dealing with the energy of the minerals of gold, and that's where we got to get back. We got to deal with the gold so we can set goals. You see what I'm saying? It's just plain and simple, man. It's plain and simple. Simplicity is the key of the secrets of the 7 seals and how to communicate with the 24 elders. We got to know ourselves in order to know the esoteric and language and what it means and how we get there. You have to be chosen. If you don't, you're going to be in a frozen state, stagnated state of mind, and just a mental deception that they have and will continue to create in our perception if we allow it. So that's why we have to become divinely awoken and deal with the God context that's in us. We say Allah, God, Jah, whatever you want to call this energy that's in us. We have to trust in it and we have to be part of it to become it. And we got to have the esoteric and arcane knowledge and awareness and everything to bring black. I said black, not back, but back also. Back black or black back. So we can defend ourselves against this attack. And we must guide our young guardians and warriors to the fact that they're being manipulated through social engineering. We have to guide them and to ask themselves why I'm playing Russian roulette with a loaded gun. And I was at a meeting last night dealing with violence and all that. Everybody talking about they're dealing with violence and this and that. But how is we dealing with violence when violence is still going on? We have to take preventive measures. We got to prevent things. We can't be like these other people. these corporations, the medical industrial complex and prison industrial complex. See, they don't prevent anything because they gain from any pain that is brought into existence. They need the prisons, they need the bodies to be in prison because the prisons now are for profit. And they dumb down our children in school, but not all of them, because our children are geniuses. They dumb them down in this way. They give them Eurocentric indoctrination and don't tell them nothing about their nation. If they do, they try to tell them that we was in captivity. I'll just say slavery, but we were never slaves. We was in captivity, but we accepted the term slavery because that made them seem like they were bigger and better than us. When they know who we are, they know we the original people because they know who we are. That's why they're trying to duplicate and replicate everything about us. Even their women with the synthetic big lips now and the big butts now and all that. They do work out, but they ain't working out. They taking needles to get everything in proportion like our women naturally do. And then they feed us all this like poisonous food, and our women, sit back. Not all our women, but a lot of our women sit back and just relax, but don't work out or don't do this and don't do that, and not spiritually inclined or divinely inclined, but they are the women. Our women are the ones that's supposed to open our mind to our spirituality and our divine findings so that we can come together in that divine union and unity worldwide. And I want to say, again, we must boycott bigotry and racism globally. And you can come on my page on hashtag Black People's Comedic Boycott Ham, and we can say how we boycott. I ain't been in a store, I don't know how long, a clothing store. And when I was in that other world, I didn't go in the store anything. It's like the store came to me. And most of my stuff is like that, and I dress African, I dress Islamically, and I dress with suits, and that's how I'd be because it was instilled in me because I looked at my father, and that's when he went out the house every day, he had a suit on, a dob on, and different type of shoes, but you couldn't tell what he was, But he didn't work. He wasn't on the plantation. But he did other things, that he was taught to do by emulating those folks who did what they did. And he did it, and he did it good. Because sometimes, especially when I was smaller, I remember when I was 6 or 5 years old, he came in the house and threw up all that money. I thought we had all the money in the world. That money came from hitting the number. And man, I had a great life growing up where I grew up at, seeing the people that came to my community where I grew up at. I'm talking about like the Black Panthers, the original Black Panther. I'm talking about Harry P. Newton, Everett Cleaver, what's the other brother? All of them, Angela Davis, Kathleen Cleaver, all of them. About 1,000 of them came to our church to have a rally, man. And I'm talking about the Black Panthers, the original Black Panthers. So all this new stuff and all that, man, I'm going to stay where that was instilled in me. It made me mentally free and open my mind. Like my buddy, he was like 2 or 3 years older than me, Larry Weaver. My parents instructed me and gave me information first, education and all that, mannerism and this and that. I had very good mannerism. I had them all my life. I got them now because I know how to respect my elders. That was something deeply rooted in me. And then Larry Weaver opened my eyes to Black power and Pan-Africanness and the last poets and Gil Scott Hearn and Bama and, those type of poets that spoke real poetry, before all this rap came out with the hip hop and all that. I was listening to stuff that had power, profound, uh, uh, profound instructions, even though it was poetry. I mean, it talked about history, it talked about the now and the then, right then, and how we got in our situation. And it was powerful, you know. I mean, y'all should just try it. I mean, look up the last poets, look up Gil Scott Heron. Y'all should know about the last poets and Gil Scott Heron. But you got to look up Bama also, Get to All the Minds. You want to hear some stuff? Oh, Lord have mercy. I know we got, I'll tell you, I got utmost respect for Nick Cannon. You know, I met him at Baba Dick Gregory's 82nd birthday. We just, hey, what's happening, this and that. But I got the respect for him when he did the poetry things and all that. And I really had respect for him right now. And he need to be protected. To take up where Nipsey Hussle was doing with Brother CB, to do the documentation on him so that it can help us build our free nation. We can't stop. We can't stop nothing that's going to rock this system and rock it enough to turn it back where it's supposed to be in the matriarchic, ma'at environment and atmosphere and spirituality. I want to say also that in our hashtag Black People's Comedic Boycott that we got to come together, those who haven't forgot who they are and become Negropeans, sell their soul to be that, the Boule and the talented 10th and all that, and gatekeepers. We don't need that. We need us to come together with, some of us, one or two or three, a lot of us got billions of dollars. And what are we doing with it? Are we pulling our resource so we can deprogram our children of what they look at and what they listen to? With all that money, we should be able to come together to pool our resources to do that. We ain't got to let the Jews control nothing, no distribution or none of that. We ain't got to let them Europeans control nothing at all. We got to pool our resources and establish our Black Wall Street, our infrastructure. Political systems, true political system is not really that. They did it. We already had federations with constitutions and convictions of the people, especially in this land and in Akabu land. But they came and, they had their meeting and said, we got all these weapons and we can go in there and do what we want to do. And they done it. And they still in so-called power, they think, but the power lies in our minds and in our spirits and in our divine God-like essence. And all we got to do is step into those blessings. When people be talking about leadership here, we're all leaders. And I mean, we got leaders who are very leaderful, that know and can speak and articulate the truth in a way that's fascinating, that can reach the minds of the people. So that's what we got to do. We got to be in alignment with all these great brothers like Minister Farrakhan, Willie Nelson, Jeremiah Wright. Man, Jeremiah Wright gave a thesis, a dictation or deliberation on the Seminoles, man. And, John Horse. He was a great leader. He was here in America. And Andrew Jackson, the might of the country that they sent against him, couldn't do nothing with him in the swamps of Florida. Got lost and scared in the darkness. And the same thing in Haiti when the brothers came out in guerrilla warfare at night with the dreads on their heads, scaring them European French people that look death, not life, scaring them to death, and cutting their heads off like they did ours. So this is the hour for us to rise again, develop our infrastructures, like Wall Streets. Minister Farrakhan, Willie Wilson, Reverend Willie Wilson, Reverend Jeremiah Wright, like those type of spiritual guides and leaders talk truth to power, talk truth about a power that we got to ascertain so we can maintain, again, our rightful place. We got to overcome and fight against gentrification and communal living. We got to stop the self-genocide inflicted upon us through social engineering. We got to get our young warriors to ask themselves why they want to play Russian roulette with a loaded gun. When I say Russian roulette with a loaded gun, so when they shoot someone and kill someone, and then somebody be looking for them to kill somebody, kill them, and then, or if they don't kill them, they go to jail or something like that. So however it go is like dominoes, you know, and it's, man, it's so hideous. It's so, I don't even want to describe it, you know, because we keep staying alive with it. We dying with it. We don't want to die and kill each other. We got a natural enemy. We all know who that natural enemy, but it's when it becomes self-inflicted, we become our own enemy, and we got to stop that. We got to listen to brothers like Edward Ford, Frederick Ballard, DCLOM, and you know, all these great brothers and sisters who has information that'll uplift you. And it's all spiritual and divine. You know, we ain't got no time for no materialistic seekers that's trying to seek materialistic wealth. Ain't nothing wrong with having money, especially, you know, like if you grassroots or something like that. You know, we have wages or whatever, but that's good too. We got to pool them resources also. But we talking about the ones like billionaires and millionaires. Pool our resources and start living collectively and cooperatively, and stop living competitively that we've been trained to be in their academic systems, indoctrination systems. And we got to be aware of that. So, and also with that, I want to say this is April, and this month in April is what is it? Let's talk about it. I want to talk about it for a second, but I want to be correct in my dialogue with it, because if I don't, I'm gonna be creative in my dialogue, and it doesn't fit the message. Let me see what's happening here. Let me see what's happening here. Can I find something that will stimulate your mind? Well, I'm going to go short and to the point. April is conscious self-health care and lymphatic cellular wellness month. That's what April is, right? According to this very articulate, knowledgeable, spiritual divine sister, Karen Khadija Abdulmalik Davis Folk. Yes, this sister here been dealing with this situation for the last 9 years. And in that 9 years, she has directed those of us who wanted to deal with the mystery of the and overcome the medical industrial complex, along with all the other misconceptions and control that these people do to us for us to lose our soul. So as I was saying, April is conscious self-health care and lymphatic cellular wellness month. And April the 30th, we honor the ninth celebration of emancipate yourself from medical mental slavery. Yes, be a part of it on April the 30th from 3 to 5. We're going to have a panel discussion. So tune in to Inner Light Radio on that day. And every Wednesday until then, or we ain't got too many more Wednesdays, but every Wednesday thereafter, come to Inner Light Radio where I might, I'm the co-host there and I'll be doing Blackanized report or trying to get into my concept of the medical mental slavery that I suffer from until I got on to the Freedom Train. And this is, like I said, done by Sister Karen Khadija Abdulmalik Davis Folk, a very articulate, very spiritual sister that we have worked together for numerous years. Got me to the one who really was pushing me to get where I'm at now, spiritually. So I had to give her that credit. He said, you don't know who you is. Kept saying that to me. I know what I am, a Muslim, you know, but it was more than that. I was just the staging or springboard to who I truly am in the spiritual God context. Oh, yeah, and April is also Poetry Month, right? And guess what? By me being the co-host on my significant other's radio program on Interlight, I was on there as co-host doing Blackanized report like I'm doing now. But also she said, well, you're a great poet. You're articulate and all that. Why don't you do some poetry for Poetry Month? So I do that. But it's coming to an end slowly, but I was doing that. And she also, you know, said April is Poetry Month, celebrating with poet, author, and her co-host, me, Humam Abdulmalik. You know, I enjoy it, man. I enjoy every moment of this revolutionary divine process that I'm a part of. And I love it. I love it. I love it to life, you know, because that's what I'm about. You know, I'm about what I say I'm about. And I'll shout it out, and I don't care who hear me. I do. I don't care who don't hear me, who don't want to hear me, because it don't make no difference, because by divine decree, I'm going to touch your mind. I'm going to plant a seed in your subconscious if your conscious try to block this information. Because we're about nation building, and we ain't stopping. So I ain't going to go like they go and say, oh, for the Negro pens and agent provocateurs, yeah, you can stay on that side, because we can't have that no more, no longer. Not in my day and time. So with that, I'll do a couple of poems. Originality is my reality also. One time I wrote a poem, right? Was it this one? Oh yeah, it was one of these. It was one of these. And the girl had enough nerve to tell me that I didn't write that. Because I used the word eon, and she didn't know what eon meant. Oh, it's this one. I'm going to read this, and I had some others to read. I'll read these two. I'll just read two instead of the three I was going to read, because these are a couple of, you know, I like writing epic poems, I guess you can call them that, because they be sort of long. But this is a poem that the sister said, oh, you didn't write that because the word eon. It was this here. It was the word eon. A three-letter word. She gonna say I didn't write that. Boy, I tell you. But anyway, it doesn't bother me because I know I'm original, just like we are the original uh, creation of humanity on the globe. And see, that's really in real deeply ingrained in my soul with everything I do. So with this, I'll say poetry is the primal beginning, for in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. The world was formless and void. Then God said, let there be light from the darkness. It came light. This was and is poetry in motion, the rhythm and rhyme of the creation, bringing forth light, sound, time expanding inward and outward beyond our comprehension, bringing in new dimensions of something that was never before, like the birds, trees, insects, oceans, stars, and planets. You see, this is poetry in time and space, but creation was not complete until God brought forth that which was and is unique. Yes, from the black mud in that celestial place, God created man and his mate, woman. The jinn, being man and woman's polar opposite in the spiritual realm, became envious and jealous because they were the apex of creation. He, the leader of jinn, Shaitan, he was and is called, showed his arrogance and pride when he defied the will of God by not showing obedience to his prime creation. In doing so, Shaitan and humanity became avowed enemies. So in the shadows of shadows, poetry became the griot, the keeper of truth, which always must be told. No matter what, we remember that throughout times to come. Poetry, here you go right here. Poetry is the eons that have passed. Just like the dinosaurs in the caveman class. Along with their primitive ways, they didn't keep their story, so we don't know how long their era lasts or when it passed. Before, after the prophets came, like Adam, Noah, and Idris, who we know were the beginning of humanity in a period of great insanity. The griot, the keeper of truth, that which always to be told, has said that immorality and sin was at its peak. So that's why the Creator sent the prophets to speak. As time passed and all the civilizations put their people to task, from the cradle of civilization to the Iron Nation, the pharaohs and the Caesars, none of which seemed to be pleased, but only content with creating disease among those who had found peace in the region of the South and the East. This is poetry of greed, when there is no need, says the griot, the keeper of truth that always must be told, is why we had Shaka Zulu in the deep south and Hannibal has to cross the Alps. Someone had to arise to revise the condition, or it would have been like living in perdition. Poetry is the worst time in human stories, because his stories belie with gross untruth. But poetry is the pain, suffering that unfolds the truth with every death, rape, auction, castration, kidnapping, manipulation of this great beloved nation. Yes, says the griot, the keeper of truth that always must be told, never forget or forget. Never forget that we were kings and queens of ancient and silver times, that we didn't start to suffer until they manipulated our minds and broke our eternal peace. Never forget the murders of the fetus and the pregnant mothers, just to instill fear in the mentality of our people. Part of the process of breaking our spirits, making a slave, is the poetry that allow us to survive that grave situation. But it ain't over until we overcome economical slavery, material slavery, and most of all, mental slavery. Poetry won't let us forget our greatness amid the suffering that came after the splendor of our glorious past. We met the Amerigo Indians way before the Portuguese, Spanish, French, or English thought about putting their oars in the water. The griot, the keeper of truth that always must be told, says, never forget who you are. Shante, Berber, Dungo, Fulani, Mandingo, Maasai, Warloops, Yoruba, Zulu. Never were we coon, shine, boy, nigga, negro. color folk. Poetry is the Constitution stating laws that we are 3/5 of a human being. We're still on the books. Poetry is knowing that there is no black land for the black man and no white land for the white man. Only Africa for the African and Europe for the European. Ain't no new world order. It's the same people keeping all this disorder in perspective, maintaining global control by hoarding all the wealth and keeping the change and wanting whatever is left. And the masses of the people are in some kind of slumber from effects of mind control, or are they mesmerized by some clever design to be in a comfort zone? Ah! Yes, we need a reality check. Being between a rock and a hard place, we are going to do. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Poetry is precise. 360 degrees of love and hate, understanding each degree and wanting to really be free, to get back what was taken from me, the generations of me. Poetry is the essence of the message left by the griot to become mentally free. Remember, the truth must be told. The truth must be told. Poetry is that truth ending at its beginning. And that's my truth. And here's Blackanized Incorporated. Let me tell you this, all these poems of mine are original. And if I don't use, if I say somebody else's poem, then I'll let you know. Because I don't plagiarize, because I am creative, original, and all those things that I realize that the Creator blessed me with and my ancestors. Blackanized Incorporated, International Nubian Consciousness, was created to make me realize I can't close my eyes to institutional lies that was given to me from grade school to high school, trying to make me into a indoctrinated fool. Being self-educated, I broke their golden rule. I became beholden to the Creator instead of them. They really gave me slim chances then. My soul and will became stronger. I still will not bend to commit the ultimate sin of worshiping them or the material things that they bring, in order to numb my brain to the reality of being sane. They even tried to fill my world with cocaine, heroin, PCP, acid, mind-altering drugs in order to sweep my life under the rug. Blackanized Incorporated, International Nubian Consciousness, allowed me to realize myself worth upon this earth, and that I had to be in control of myself or something or somebody else would be. And that was the key in me being mentally free and seeing reality in all its distortion. And those who gave in to the ultimate sin became the enemy of man. They sold their soul because they thought paper money was still backed up by gold and silver. Who would deliver the truth to them that the Wizard of Oz is a fraud and what he would have you believe is God is just a charade? And the Federal Reserve got a lot of nerve charging us interest as they parade the RS in our face as we try to keep pace with the bitter taste of taxes they persuaded us to pay when the nation first went broke. Now all the folk got is legal tender and a promissory note. Blackanized Incorporated, International Nubian Consciousness, making me feel the realization of all the assassination that went down in my era and time, making me scratch my mind, asking myself, is this all the alphabet men are inclined to do? Along with protecting me and you, J and R. Kennedy, M.L. King, along with Malcolm X, who will be or who might be next from the COINTELPRO. Only the agent provocateurs must know. They say you sow what you reap, so tell the FBI to keep the code keep the heroin off the streets. And the CIA, please don't bring no more cocaine this way. It's driving President Bush insane at that time. As he began to play war games in the military industrial complex, along with the Carlyle Foundation, is going to get paid without hesitation, because this is the way of secret organizations. They don't call them the Knight Templars of Solomon anymore, but to even the score, they want worldwide domination at the behest of this beloved nation. Blackanized Incorporated, International Nubian Conscious, the Mason, Trilateral Commission, Illuminati. Don't be fooled. They're all the same with one goal in mind, to leave nothing behind but chaos, confusion, and for you to be choosing falsehood over truth. Because who's who in the World Health Organization? And what do they do along with the CDC, Center for Disease Control, when it's been long out of control? By design, if you just scratch your mind. The prison industrial complex, what's next to ensure that slavery is part of the stock market, as Dow Jones up the enormous time given out at the auction blocks in the courtrooms? And what looms on the horizon? The atom and neutron bombs. Everybody just stay calm and don't be alarmed. Because we have mad scientists and madmen at the controls, like robots with computers for brains. What's the data that they contain? How insane they are connected to the mainframe, still playing a diabolical game of death over life. And what's the price? You, and you. So we got to be aware, because if we're not aware, then I swear, oh man, that was 2, right? And it was pretty long. Should I do this show? No, I'll hold this to next week to keep us like on our feet. So with that being said, and I've been on here a little while longer than I wanted to be. What's up, my brother Bakir, Mukawir, DJ of the year. Be blessed, my brother, and keep up that personal test of success that you have going on for yourself by divine decree. Amen. Ashe Hotep. Salaam alaikum. And that's what I want to say to us. I want to say to us that we got to stay in a ma'at type of mentality, in the 42 admonitions of ma'at. And also don't ever stop practicing our principle of Kwanzaa every day of the year. Just pick one to practice and apply it. And also that our history, our story got to be told every day, because you know, they try to give it to want us to contain it in 1 month, and just want to contain it in 2019 years, or no, say 400 something years when we was in captivity in America. But we're not going to do that. We're not going to be susceptible to or in the United Snakes of hypocrisy under satanic administration. We are about helping each other build infrastructure of a new black nation. Once again, you know, it ain't really new, it's old, but we just gotta, like, you know, we gotta renovate. You know, when we have something get, you know, old or something, we renovate it to make it new again. So that's what we want to do with Black Wall Streets and black infrastructure in a divine way, in our mind way, and so on the highway of our life way. So I want to give a roll call this morning. I want to say Hotep Ashe Salam Alaikum to all my beloved sisters and brothers, and Salome. And the first one I want to call off is Frederick Ballinger. Then we got Anna, hold up, that might not be, is that? Yeah. Anna Roden and Marvin Witt. And yeah, he been on here before. And my big uncle, DC LOM, DC Loyalty Over Money. We got Abdullah Shabazz and Imorje Hotep Ra. And we got my good brother, strong black brother, God brother, Edward Ford X. Then we got Lona Ellington, you know. What you say, Swoop, that I missed? You said over 16,000 messages written. I would like for you to read one someday soon. Okay, what are you talking about? We have over 16,000 messages written. I would like for you to read one someday soon. Wait, give me the message, brother, and if I can read, then I will read. Then we got Ormis Temple, great spiritual sister. Poetry is the story of life. Okay, I got you. And we got the my brother Bakir F.A. Mukawir. He joined us today also. He a good DJ if you're looking for a DJ. Just look him up on Facebook. He played the music. Oh, with that, I'm gone. Ganing on me gashi. Isikuma fali ko likosha. Pikina sila likoma. Shakaditali ulikola. Iloma shikona. Sikona. Omasha. Ulekaliko. Masha hinala hilogama sogama bolgana sokoye. So with that, I'll see y'all. Well, that's money, unless it's a special report. There's no telling where I might get caught, and there might be something very profound and significant going on that we must share. Blackanized report, global, motivating, and stimulating. Not speculation, but the truth. From your host, Humam Abdulmalik, who's going to give you the most of himself and toast the people of the melanated. The melanated thing that you can't change. We can only move forward with that. So with that, I'll be blessed. Love y'all like I love myself. I got to go talk to my psychiatrist. Yeah, the guy in the mirror. Like Michael Jackson said, the man in the mirror. Love y'all. Sokama. Chokonahi nakafa. Okonaye o. Maleo ka. Ikolesa.